We could start. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot of being here. A warm welcome to the EVAS conference on insurance research. This is the first international conference on this topic organized by EVAS, and perhaps the first international conference on this subject in Italy. We hope we have done everything well, but until tomorrow afternoon we are keeping our fingers crossed, as you imagine. Why a conference on insurance research? In our opinion and from our life experience, a conference is often a moment of fruitful exchanges of opinions, carefully thought out opinions, I would say. And as academics and practitioners, we strongly believe in the real advances achievable in this way. The organization of the conference has not been an easy task. We received many papers for presentation, but due to budget and time constraints, we had to make a drastic selection. We had to say no to a number of excellent works, and I apologize for this. But in my opinion, the selected ones are very clear and stimulating contribution, divided into 4 major sessions. The opening session is about insurance regulation in general. It is followed by a session on risk and capital with contribution on some key issues concerning Solvency II, as well as on some important aspects regarding the proper functioning and the sustainability of the insurance business. Solvency II has been in force since January 2016. After a decade of theoretical analysis and quantitative impact studies, we finally see its real effects and true numbers. Solvency II first and second pillars are providing SCR data and their own risk and solvency assessments to the stakeholders, of course included EVAS. However, the Solvency II review process is already in place at European level, and the ongoing debate is expected to provide the first result in 2018. Our 2 sessions on regulation and risk capital could be useful to provide insights and suggestions for the current debate on the reform of Solvency II. The discussion will be focused on macroprudential risk measures, the case of USP, the issue of aggregation of risks, the link between solvency and competition in the insurance industry. It is of the greatest importance to provide the European authorities with a thorough debate concerning all the relevant issues in order not to miss the appointment with the reform. The final conference day is dedicated to aspects of the non-life business, motor third-party liability and natural catastrophes. In particular, 2 presentations are focused on MTPL, an area of special interest for Italy, UK and many Eastern countries. As you know, price heterogeneity between regions and policyholders is not completely explained by risk differences. Forms of oligopolistic competition and special barriers to entry play a role, according to recent explanations. Black boxes and autonomous drive cars give new perspectives to this business line. Tomorrow's final session on NatCat insurance will try to shed light on how to overcome a challenge involving Italy, Europe and the entire world. Different natural risks are hitting different areas, from earthquakes to floods to landslides, droughts and so on. The global climate change is expanding hazards and vulnerabilities in all countries. Residential properties and business plans are increasingly exposed to this risk, and no single answer can be found worldwide. In most cases, an appropriate mix of state intervention and private insurance provide the best incentives for optimal NatCat coverage. Also in this case, Italy is particularly interested in the debate that will follow tomorrow, given that its current situation, based only on a state ex-post intervention, seems far from being sustainable, long-standing arrangement. A closing session on catastrophe, no pun intended, is hopefully of good omen. As a final remark, I would like to remind the speakers to pay great attention to the time limits in order to keep to our tight schedule. I have this very unpleasant job to do. Enjoy the conference, and let us start by handing over to Professor Da Coruña for his talk. Thank you. Thank you a lot.